Hello, dear students. Uh, this is the Strive Edge IAS Academy. So this will be basically the orientation class for the essay writing. Today we'll be going to learn how to write an effective essay for the UPSC mains examination. So as you all know that essay writing is a very critical component of the mains. It is very high scoring subject as well. Also, it will be giving you an opportunity to express your ideas. You will be having to analyze the issues, all the arguments which you want to provide for a particular theme. You can all do all these things in a structured format. Now you have to remember that if you write your essay exam very well, that will significantly boost your marks, and you will have the very good impression of the mains answer writing. And you have to appease your examiner with your presentation skills with respect to the essay. So in simple words, essay will be like a storytelling. You are taking one particular theme and you are working on it to give your arguments that the evaluator will be should be pleased by your arguments. So that is the thing. So in this class, this will be a very basic orientation class. Here you will be starting with the structure part and how you need to write an essay. All these basic things we'll be addressing this, and in the future going forward, we'll be looking for the all the some examples for each particular aspect of which we are going to discuss today. That we'll be doing in the later one. So now, first of all, let us all start with the basics without wasting our time. So we'll have to write essay in such a way that your time management, your word limit management, and also your expression of the thought combined with the grammatical part of the essay has to be addressed. These things has to be, you have to be very careful while writing your essay. So simple thing, essay is not just about your knowledge. So it is more like your critical thinking, how you are going to think on a one particular theme. So the basically the topic will be of a single line, or sometimes it is a half a line or 3 to 4 words itself. You have to write some pages, 6 to 7, 8, 9, 10 pages of essays on it. So you need to have a very very broad idea, not just a narrow thinking of the topic. You have to put in this one into mind while writing. Your skills will be put to test, and your ability, how you are going to present balanced perspective. So here it is not a debate, it is your thinking ability which will be very much balanced. Your perspectives has to be very very balanced in this regard. So the examiner will also analyze diverse dimensions to your topic and will provide the well rounded arguments to this. How you are providing this well rounded arguments will be tested. Your essay should reflect your understanding, your maturity, and awareness of the current affairs and all the general subject knowledge of yours. So let us begin with the very basic one, that is the structure. How you are going to go for your structure? What will be a basic structure of your essay? I'm expecting many of you already know, and for who don't know this, it is first you have to have a good introduction. We'll discuss on the each part very clearly going further, but basically you will have introduction, you will have body, you will have conclusion. So how much part this should be having? 10 to 15% of your essay has to be in conclusion, and nearly some 10% has to be in the conclusion, introduction and conclusion, and the body has to cover the rest 75 to 80%. So this has to be your division. So this is how you will be dividing your essay writing, and this is what the structure. So how this structure looks like, now we'll discuss one by one. So first we'll be seeing about introduction. Now we all know what is an introduction. It is your opening argument. So if you sit for a discussion, you are talking, so how you will be starting, that is your introduction. So if someone asks you to tell about yourself, so that is, you say that you introduce yourself. That means what? You are telling something about this one. In the same way, whenever an essay is presented to you, you are going to introduce this essay, the theme, your thoughts, you are going to introduce to the examiner. So you have to introduce in, you have multiple ways to introduce yourself. It is your critical thinking to appease the examiner. But there are some standard things which are followed, uh, which you can try using this one. So for example, you already know quote. Any quote by one any famous personality can be used. Knowledge is power, that is a quote, but this is a very small quote. If you get a topic that knowledge is power as a quote, you cannot use the same quote as your example. So you have to check the how relevant is that particular uh, theme which you are choosing for an introduction to the topic. That is how you take this one. So if there is some essay regarding the character of human character, so you can use some quote by any famous personality that will be there to this particular thing. Now you have also known this another thing. Any questioning is one another way you raise multiple questions. So here this way I'm giving you a very brief introduction about how to write an introduction in an essay, and going further we'll be having discussing when we take some examples for each thing, how you can start with the quote and all. Just now listen this and keep in your mind how this starts and how to start an introduction. Just have an idea, just a brief idea about this one, so you can raise some thought provoking questions. You take some logical questions in your mind, you continuously raise those questions. So later when you go to the essay, you can build the linkage in the answer or the body after this one. So that is important. So everywhere any theme you take, this linking to the body is the very important aspect. And next one, definition. So when you go for a definition, you take any keyword from the essay theme and you will be defining that keyword or you will be explaining that one. So sometimes in questions there will be multiple definable words. That is where it is most useful. So in that particular thing you can start using this one. We'll see with examples later very well. And sometimes current affairs, you can use the current affairs or the context, we say this, any recent news that has happened or any particular context you can add to that one. You know, some of the thing or story or anything event, or it can be any report which is relevant to the topic, you can use that one. And one more thing is the anecdote. This is the most used, so this will be very important. Along with the quotation can be used, and the current affairs, these three are very much used. The questioning and definition we can use, but it is not much used. It will not be very relevant, but anecdote is very much relevant. So anecdote is basically, in simple words, it is an imaginative story. You have to imagine one story which will be perfectly fitting into the your theme of the essay. Then you will be writing about this story accordingly. You will be introducing, and then you will be linking that to the body. So this must be, usually we have to choose an anecdote in such a way that it will be some debatable one. So that what happens is that if it is debatable, healthy analysis of the topic can be done, and that healthy analysis will be flowing in the body. So that is how you maintain the flow and coherence later in the body. So feel coming going to the future, we'll be discussing about what is flow and what is coherence and all this one. So that is all about the introduction. Then we'll be seeing about the body. This is most important one. So everything, like, you have to introduce good, you have to conclude good, all that is fine. But unless your body is good, your body of the essay is well maintained, you will not be able to score good marks. That is for guarantee. So body has to be very much. Again, while you are writing a body also, you can follow some themes. There are very standard themes you can follow in this one. So these are well tested and well written. So we have the macro micro analysis. So what we'll be doing is, in macro micro analysis, we will be taking the topic, we will be dividing this into some micro some macro dimensions, and under each macro dimension we'll be finding some examples or some arguments or examples we will be providing this is how you will have a proper structure about the topic, and your thoughts will move in that one particular direction. This basically, these themes will not directly appear in the exam or in your essay how you are going to write, but all this understanding is very important to write a good essay. If you are able to understand this, you will have the basic thoughts in your mind that will be flowing naturally into your essay writing. So that is how you will be having. This is one of the simple and most used important as such as the macro and micro analysis. Another one is the dialectical method. So in the dialectical method, what we will be having this thesis. So what is a thesis? The given statement. So you take the given statement that you are believing in this. Yes, correct. You are saying that this is yes, correct. That is thesis. Now, after providing arguments to prove that it is correct, you will also provide another argument saying that antithesis. No, not correct. So the given statement is not correct. Why? You provide these examples, arguments, etc. Here also you provide your arguments. But after this one, is it the done now? No, you have to take a middle path in this sometimes for this one, that is called synthesis. Yes, the statement might be correct, but there is some circumstances or situations where it is not correct. So in this way you have to divide your body for this dialectical method. So you have the given statement that will be used as thesis, and then you go and you have this antithesis. So that is where you will be having. Then the third important theme is compare and contrast. So this is not used for all the essays, but it can be used for some particular. So when there is some relation or interconnectedness or some complementary terms which are used in the theme, you can use. So what we will be doing, we will be comparing and contrast. So what is in difference and what is in similarity, we will be evaluating this one. So we will be reasoning. We will not do any particular proper reasoning for this one. We will not do any incomplete reasoning to this. We will always compare and will be contrast. We'll take some dimension, that dimension will be comparing with each. So this is how it goes. So you will be like taking one thing, you compare and you contrast. So you say that this is correct, this is not, and then you take another dimension. So this is how your body entirely flows naturally. And the next one is about the cause and effect. So there are some uh, causes and consequences for some particular essays. No, every theme is not relevant for all the things. So it will be varying. So you have to have this cause and effect thing. So in this particular thing, you will have some cause. Here the dimensions are important. You take the dimensions, how broadly you are going to think, how differently your ideology flow. You take some cause and you take what is the effect. You break this down. The topic is broken now. Topic is broken into causes. So here you are looking out for some causes. Here your topic is divided. That is, then you find causes. Once you find the cause, what is that effect? That will be there. Next one is, this is the most basic method. Everyone uses this. Some say that this is outdated, but some say that this is still relevant. You can always use if it is syncing to your topic or it is relevant there, you can use. It is very much used for the descriptive essays. So in description based essays, you can use this one where you can demonstrate your whatever you want to see. So in this, how you will be looking into this one, like we can have the stakeholder analysis. Who are the stakeholders? Whether it is the government or the public or the media, all this you can look it from the different dimensions. Various stakeholders to that particular any statement is given. For that, these stakeholders, whether they are relevant or not, based upon that relevance you can choose the body. So you addressing all the stakeholders, you can write one paragraph and it goes on. And also you can go this level analysis. So whether it is at the family level, or it is at the personal level, or national, or international, so it goes on. So various levels you can look into this one. So that is all about the uh, various sectorals. Or you can go simply this one. For our exam purpose, we can go for most famous one, pestle, where the polity, economy, environment, science, technology, law, so this is a pestle analysis which is most followed by many of the people. So you can also look into these dimensions. If you're not going for any standard, you can go for the mix of these things also. This is what the sectoral one. This is very basically the descriptive one. So after this, we also have some different types like chronological method. So where your entire body flows from past to future, past to present, sorry, and present to future. Your expectations of the future. What happened in the past? What is happening in the present? What is your expectation on the future of the same thing? Suppose if they ask about the computer, like what is the past, how the computer has invented and all this thing, how big it used to be and all. Present, how this is transforming the entire economy and the ecosystem. That is what present. And in the future, like what you can add your expectation there, like how it gonna be looking in the future, how the computer gonna be. That is all your expectation. Just like the scientific fiction movies, they will be thinking, no, so that is how you'll be going. So this is how it goes. So all the evolutionary stages will be presented in this regard. And the other one is about the problem solution. So what you will be doing is, you will be taking the topic and you will be identifying what are the problems that are there in this one. So after identifying the problem, you try to provide a solution. So in a page, if this is your page, you are going to write, usually it is preferred 2 to 3 paragraphs should be written in a body. So if you are writing 2 paragraphs, this paragraph defines the problem, full problem. You are defining tip, entire until the small tip. You have to very briefly but very crisply, you have to write it detail. Then here you are providing your solution. So this is how you take a problem, you write a solution, you take a problem, you have to write a solution. So this is how this will be continued in this regard. So that is how you, these are the different ways of writing a body is a very important part as we have discussed. So this is how you will be going into the body. So how many we have seen that macro and micro analysis? Simply you are dividing the topic into some macro, and then you are having your micro arguments and examples. This is one important. Then dialectical method, here you will be taking the thesis statement that yes, it is correct, the statement is correct. Then you write some arguments, then you go for the antithesis, no, it is not correct. Then you make some arguments there, and finally you conclude saying that synthesis, middle path. This is yes, yes, but some no for the statement. In this way you will be writing. And next, compare and contrast, not every time useful, but it is like you will find a relation or complementary things are present. You say that yes, this is one type of thing in one dimension, this is true, and here it is contrast, you are comparing and contrasting. Then you take the cause and effect, you break the topic into some causes, and you identify those one particular cause, and then you give the effect of that one particular thing. Then the most famous one and the most generalist one, that is the sectoral method. Descriptive essays will be using this one. So different stakeholders, levels, pestle, and different dimensions will be the sectors. We are making different sectors, and the body will flow into that. Then chronological method, we will be having this past to present to the future. So it will all provide all the evolutionary stages of this one. Then we have the problem and conclusion. So problem and solution. So when you identify a problem from that one, you will be providing a solution for this thing. Now what happens? Now the third one is about the conclusion. So what we will be writing in conclusion? So we can write different things in a conclusion, like there are multiple things. So what we can write? We can rewrite the thesis statement. So if a statement is given, sun rises in the east, you can write yes. You argued about this thing, you have shown this one, yes, sun rises in the east, that is why this thing happens. So you rewrite the thesis statement, and then you flow your arguments, paraphrase all your major arguments. So this is why, as we can observe, so there is this thing. So in that way you can provide that full argument, the major arguments you can provide in a summarized way. So and then summarize. This is one way, or else we can have in another way. So echo, especially when you written an anecdotal story, what happens is that story which you have used in introduction. So in introduction you use this anecdotal story. Now connect it here and end. So there you write it an incomplete story. So this person is there, he's doing this thing, he was in a dilemma of this thing, and then your body comes, you have entirely argued about that particular thing, you have come to a conclusion. Now say that yes, by evaluating all these things, the boy in the story which I mentioned in the beginning will have this thing now as a conclusion, so he will be writing this. So this is how you echo. So your introduction, you are echoing it in this one. Another one is about the prediction. So you can predict by, suppose if it is about the climate change and global warming, so you can say that, so the disasters are increasing and this one, and we can predict that there might be an end of life or there might be some biodiversity loss. So you're predicting everything. So by 2030, not sometimes prediction is not a random prediction, so it can be a scientific prediction. So you have this thing, by 2050 if you don't reduce 49 percentage levels of the current emissions, we are going to have temperature rise more than 1.5 degrees. So that is a prediction. It is a scientific prediction, but it is a prediction. So this is how you can predict something. Yeah, this is gonna happen. What if? So you have to support your strategies. So that for that purpose, you have to say that what if is the thing. Then the next one is about the poems or quotations. You can use this. If you know any good poem, or if you know any quotation, proper quotation, you can use that thing in this one. Simple, self-explanatory. Then we can have this pledge. This is one good thing you can do this one. So suppose we can take we the people. So always use in essay, don't use first person. Okay, we have to use this. You should not use first person. So we will write the we the people of some XYZ city pledge to do this. Like, so if you're writing about environment or deforestation thing, you can write we as a society have to take a pledge to protect the forest from the deforestation and degradation. So this is the conclusive thing. So you are taking a pledge. You have to have this anything, like any pledge. That is where you will be providing this thing. Next one is you will be providing some parallel structures. So what are these parallel structures in simple words? If you will be seeing this, you take one sentence and you go on filling this one. For example, we'll be like, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise. Then again, same. I have a dream that we will be united. Brotherhood. This is the thing. So you will be taking I have a dream that, you will be continuing that sentence. Another example can be we shall fight on no matter what the weather conditions are. We shall fight on no matter the political crisis begin. We shall fight on. So this is the thing, like these are the parallel structures. You can use this one. So these are different types. So one of the most important one, if you are using anecdotal in your introduction, it is better to write an echo. And predictions are again one important thing we can write if you have started with the context or any recent current affairs. So prediction is one of the important one. Then poems and quotations is also another one. So pledge, everything you can use all these things. So this is all about the structure. So we have seen about the introduction, how we have to introduce. We have seen about the body, we have also seen about the conclusion. So all these basic things, these are the basic things. I just briefly explained what are the different types and how to write. But now in the going forward, the coming classes, we will be taking all the detailed one by one, how to write one type of introduction. We'll be taking one particular essay example, and then we'll sit with that and we'll try to write essay and we'll try to frame the body. So all these things we'll be doing this one. So some of the basic mistakes to avoid, we can say that. So sometimes what we'll be doing is that we'll be identifying some keywords, and that particular keywords only will be writing multiple things on that particular keyword, and we'll be missing the theme. So theme is important. So theme is all about not just keywords, not just the thinkers or the philosophers, not all this. The theme, whatever the theme is asked, that is where you address this thing. Okay. So and then you should not go for narrow introduction, narrow interpretation. So not just binary essays you should not write, avoid. So yes, no, you should have multiple dimensions. Multiple dimensions has to come from you. There is not always binary. Yes and no is not a simple, that is not a thing in an essay will be evaluative purposes, like analyzing yourself, you have to do that thing. So that is how you have to keep in your mind about the essay. And then you should not write any irrelevant content. So if whatever is there, you restrict to that theme. You should not go off topic when you're writing the body. That is how you maintain the flow and coherence. So we'll discuss again what is flow and coherence in detail when we go for the next classes. Also, I'll be providing you multiple examples, multiple quotations. We'll be having good file. All the PDFs will be provided. No, don't worry about this one. And some practical tips you can go, like if you have to time management. Time management is also one of the important in the essay. So when you write time management, so you have to give 10 to 15 minutes for brainstorming. This is very important, because you once you start writing your essay, your thoughts can be very scattered. It will be somewhere, it goes in multiple ways and directions. So you have to do the brainstorming. When you do the brainstorming, what will happen is that you are aligning all your thoughts into one particular thing. So your theme, your thoughts are linking here. And when you write like on a rough sheet, if you write roughly, this is what I'm writing, a first page, second page, and all this one, when you see this broad thing, this looks like a proper summary sheet. So when in summary sheet, you can say that whether your ideas are flowing correctly or not. So that you can look into this one. And always stick to the word limit. So you can also manage the word limit in this one. So word limit can be managed here. Okay. And you can write your examples, case study side roughly, so that you can write where you will be attaching these particular things. That is the thing. And then the grammar part, one of the. So however, essay, it might be testing your analytic skills, thinking ability, writing ability, time management. Okay. But English, you have to have a basic and good English. So you should have a simple, clear language. It is always preferred simple and clear language. You don't need to make things complicated for you. You have to be very much simple and very much clear. That will be there. You should avoid some jargons. So all this one. So all the jargons can be avoided. Complex words not needed. Like if you are comfortable and it flows with the answer, fine. But you don't impose that on yourself while you are writing the essay. So these are some of the important things and all this one. So we will be ending our class here, this for this particular thing. And going forward, we will be having, when we start our classes, we will be having very good interactive sessions as well. So this will provide you a basic one. This is for your orientation as there. And once again, you can check out, you can open the link provided, Strive Edge IAS Academy. We are having all the courses. You can explore your courses, and you can find we are providing the best quality content over here. Very much crisp and clear analysis. So that is what there. So when we conclude now, remember that the essay writing is the UPSC mains. You need much preparation for that. It is not like randomly you go and write this one. So you have to practice this one. You have to write multiple essays, and then you have to prepare for this one. But it might take less time compared to the other topics, but it will yield you good marks. So with consistency and effort, you can master this art of essay writing. I can promise you that if you follow the follow the thing which I'm providing you, the summary, the explanation, and all this one, carefully follow this one, you will become a master of in the art of writing the essay. So you have to keep practicing, and we'll be having the interactive sessions going forward. Okay, and thank you. I hope this session has been helpful for you. The time you have spent here should be very much useful. Okay, now currently we'll be end the class here. Thank you.